Hi, Lawrence. My name is Ellen. I'll be correcting this essay for you today. Let's take a look at what you have written here for your task 2. It's about ex-prisoners, and here's what you said. Somebody believe that criminals will be a good people after they serve out their sentence, and they will share their experiences with younger on the consequences of committing crimes, such as drug dealers and murder people. The essay will discuss the reasons I believe that people can be redeemed from their mistakes by fully reviewing their whole life. All right, so let's talk about a few things here. The first thing that I noticed is you had a lot of grammatical mistakes. A lot. Did I understand what you were trying to say? Yes, I did because I know what the topic is. But the grammatical mistakes were pretty consistent. And then you have this here. The essay will discuss the reasons why I believe, etc., etc. But what your position is doesn't answer what the question has asked you. It feels like you're writing something kind of tangentially related to the question, but not what the question actually asked you. So you have to be careful about this because that's not going to help your task achievement score. So why don't we try this again? I'll try to make some suggestions on what you could do to fix this. Some people believe that criminals may become good people after they serve out their sentence. And they should share their experiences with young people about the consequences of committing crimes. Period. I wouldn't even have written this. This essay will discuss the reasons why I believe these ex-convicts can be redeemed and are the best people to help youngsters from avoiding, let me try that again, and are the best people to help youngsters avoid a life of crime. There we go. Because that's what the question is asking you. They are the best people to talk to teenagers. Okay? So that's what you're supposed to be talking about here. First of all, the newspapers showed prisoners were sharing experiences with the youngers about why they committed the crime and the activities from the collages. All right, I don't know why we're talking about newspapers. I don't understand that. Okay. And then here in the event, I don't understand this either. Anyway, why don't I read it first and then see what you're trying to do here. In the event, criminals talk about their bad behavior, which leads to broken relationships with their relatives to students. It reminds the students not to commit crimes. The event brings insight to the student with the first-person perspective. The youngers will consider their personal experience as an advice on becoming a good person. They will not commit crimes later on. Okay, so I definitely want you to scrap this whole newspapers thing. And one of the things that I'm going to suggest to you is really, uh, you know what it is? It needs proper IELTS essay structure, and that's missing here. I feel like you're making this as as kind of like a piece of fiction. I mean, there was no newspaper that showed something like, so I don't understand why that's here. You have a position, you have an opinion about something, and that's what you're expressing. And in addition to expressing it, you're also expressing why you say what you say. Okay? So all of this felt to me a little irrelevant. And I think that when you're on the course and you follow the videos to explain to you how we formulate essays, you'll understand what's needed. So let's try that again. First of all, prisoners can share experiences with teenagers, youngers is not a word, with teenagers about why they committed the crime, period. Criminals can talk about their bad behavior and how it leads to broken relationships with their relatives, period. This will remind the students not to commit crimes and brings insight to the students with the first person perspective. The teens will consider this personal experience as advice on how to become a good person and may not commit crimes later on. All right, so we corrected the grammar a little bit, but what's missing is some additional information. It still feels a little choppy. It still needs some work. Okay, remember, why are they the best people? All you're doing me here is so far is telling me what happens when the criminals speak to young people. You didn't convince me why they're the best people. Okay, but we'll talk about that later. Secondly, some criminals will sit in prison for a long time. They will review their past, no matter whether it is good or bad. They will regret what they did to hurt their relatives and society. Sometimes religious services are provided in prison to guide criminals to do good things to redeem their faults. After the consultation, I don't understand consultation. The criminals think they should do some good things to repay their debt, such as going to charity and church or becoming a volunteer to help the weak. They hope they have their best life after confession. All right, this is very interesting, but I don't understand how it's relevant to the topic. Again, you're talking close to the topic, but you're not answering the question. This is what I said to you earlier. So again, what is it about everything you're telling me here that makes criminals, ex-criminals, the best people to talk to youngsters? And I'm not getting that from this, okay? Let's see. How about this? Second of all, because you have first of all here. Second of all, when criminals sit in prison for a long time, they will review their past, regretting what they did to hurt their relatives. And then tell me how this is makes them so wonderful for the young people. How does this regret make them such a wonderful source of information for a teenager? Okay? You didn't talk to me anything about the teenagers, religious services, volunteerism, but nothing about how this makes them the best people. Do you understand? So that's why I said you talked around the topic, you talked near it, but you didn't talk about it. In conclusion, I think people who become good citizens, no comma, here, no come here, no come here, just go straight. I think people who become good citizens can rethink their bad behavior after committing a crime. They can tell their stories to the young people to alarm them not to follow their past. That bad behavior will ruin their life. Okay, that's fine. So I see some nice things here, but I also see how this essay really needs a lot of work. And I think that based on what I saw here, the course will do you really just infinite good in how you write. It's going to just completely change your writing. So I really would like to encourage you to sign up for it. Okay. Um, so thanks for sending this in. I hope I get to see more of your work in the future. Good luck.